All right, the next thing I want to show you how to affix that arm that's right here, faces overlapping it. And I'm going to use this arm that's free. And I am just going to lasso. I'm using my lasso tool. And it's the third one from the top here. If I right click, I'm just going to use that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit Control C on a PC, Command C on a Mac, and then Control V or Command V. Okay, so here's my other arm. It's free. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to edit, and we are going to transform, and we're going to flip horizontal. Boom, there's his arm right here. See, now I can Control T. I'm going to rotate the arm, and I hover in one of the corners of the anchor, and I get this bent cursor, and I can keep his, and you need to make sure that this is, give it enough space, because remember, with the puppet warping too close to the head, that mesh is going to go ahead and make it look like it's all one. So I think if I go ahead and lower this, and I might have to lower the other arm as well. I'm going to just double click that. Now he looks like he has 3 arms. Go back to Bart 1, lasso around, and I'm going to get rid of that arm. Just lasso around it, hit the delete key, boom. I'm going to hit Control D or Command D on a Mac. I'm going to go back to, we're going to call that arm. Double click on that layer, and then I'm going to hit the move tool, and then I'm going to just adjust. I'm going to adjust the placement of his arm. I'm going to go in and not use the magic eraser tool. I just tapped the letter E on my keyboard. I'm going to use just a regular eraser tool, and I've zoomed in. I can hit Control and the plus symbol, and I can zoom in, and I can clean this up. And then right here, I know that this is red. Tap the letter I on your keyboard. Select the eyedropper tool. I'm going to left click once. When you see that circle, I've selected it. It's set for my foreground color. I'm going to hit B on my keyboard for brush. I'm going to make my brush smaller, and then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to paint on the Bart layer. Don't forget to change your layers, because I want it on the Bart layer. And then I want to change my brush. I know it's 2D animation, so I want the hard round brush. So when I go in and paint, it kind of matches a little bit better. There we go. And then I would like that line, that black line. And then really this is why we did that Steamboat Mickey earlier. I'm going to tap the letter I on my keyboard. I'm going to select this black area, B for my brush. And then I'm going to hold the shift key, left click once, left click again. Make that darker. It won't even know. I'm going to fill in. Boom. There's Bart's other arm. And so I really need to adjust this arm too. It's very close to his ear, so when I puppet warp that, it might grab his ear. It probably would. So now I'm going to lasso around the arm, make sure I'm on Bart 1, whoever your character is, you know, and I'm going to hit Control X or Command X on a Mac, Control V or Command V. Then I'm going to rotate it. And this is going to be, just hit Control T or Command T. And so this will separate out his arms a little bit, and then it'll give me a little bit more flexibility. I know it looks a little weird visually because that, you know, looks a little off there. Okay, so now arm, and this would be his left arm. So I'll put arm LT. I'm going to rename this arm RT. It's his right. Okay, and then I'm going to go back to Bart, and then I'm going to go ahead, B for my brush, I on my keyboard for the eyedropper tool. I've changed it to that trademark yellow. B for my brush again, and I'm going to go back in, and I'm just going to fix. I'm going to increase my brush size by hitting the open bracket key, and I probably need to hit E to erase, but that's probably on one of his arms. Go in and erase. So you got to remember what layer you're doing things on. And then I've got my Bart. Go back in and paint that in. I'm going to tap my I on my keyboard again. I want to grab that black. Hit B for my brush tool. Decrease the size of my brush. And then I'm just going to go in and fix that until I'm happy with that. There we go. And I could fix his collar too. Okay, but that's, and I need to go back in my arm. So arm left, and I'm going to tap E to erase, and I'm just going to clean some of that up. There we go. That's a little bit better. And then I'm going to go to Bart, and I'm going to hit E, or I mean B for my brush. And I'm going to go ahead I to grab that yellow, B for my brush again, and then go ahead and paint that in. Make that neck a little bit better. And then I would go back in, I for the black, B for my brush. I'm just going back in, and I'm trying to fix. That's why my flow is a little bit low. Make sure your flow is at 100 so that you, there we go, that looks better. All right, so it's a little bit of adjusting. It's not perfect, but that'll work. Okay, arm, and here's the thing. It might be better, and this is one of those things. It's probably better if you puppet warp just the arm separately, but I know that in the past when we did the boxer's arm, some of you did it just the arm, and some of you did the boxer's whole body and the arm. You end up with more flexibility, I think, if you just puppet warp what you need instead of having all the body together, almost like a paper doll kind of thing. But it's really going to be up to you. Since we did it where everything was one piece, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to merge. I'm going to hold the shift key, left click once on my Bart layer, left click on my arms, and then I'm going to right click and I'm going to merge layers. So only the layers that are highlighted are going to merge down. I'm going to rename that Bart 1. Okay, so now Bart has been put into one piece. Arms are separated, legs are separated for the puppet warping. Okay,